I was just like sitting here and often like what I find myself doing when I have something to say, when I have to pray to the Lord and I'm in public spaces, is I pretend I'm on the phone. I don't know. Some people might know and be like, oh, she's crazy. But like when I feel like I have a thought or something that I want to just like speak out loud to the Lord and just like let him know how I feel. Not that he already doesn't know, but he, loves to speak with us. I got to work on being silent so I can hear what he has to say. But I was sitting here and I was just like doing that on the phone, pretending to talk to somebody. When, like I was just about like this post that I saw on Instagram where somebody was talking about the weight of a woman's silence in a relationship after the yelling, after the arguing, after the begging and everything else. And it also kind of reminds me of something I saw earlier where this guy, there's this guy on Instagram, I don't know his name, but he makes songs off of like cringy sort of like Tinder conversations or online conversations, like the text messages that people show that are like super just like crazy. And this one dude basically texted the wrong number and told somebody named Tiffany, who wasn't really Tiffany, that he had a good date with her, but like I can't be with you because you do something that all humans naturally do, which is fart. He called it toot and everything, and I guess she let out a little toot on their date and everything else. And he said that's why I broke up with my ex-wife, because she would wait in the middle of the night when she thought I was asleep and go to a corner of the room and she would fart and everything, or toot as he said it. And I was just thinking about that, and I'm like, I know like online the negativity, it gets my attention, and I know it gets everybody else's attention too, but it's just like some of this stuff in relationships that men and women suffer through, you gotta take responsibility. And I don't say that that person isn't wrong for their behavior. That woman or that man isn't wrong for the way that they're talking to you or treating you. But what are you allowing though? Especially if you're an adult, making your own money, got your own place and stuff like that, have your own stuff going on. God has blessed you, with the ability to take care of yourself. You gotta ask yourself the hard questions, why am I allowing this? Why am I allowing this behavior? Why am I allowing this person to talk to me that way? Why have I ignored behavior that shouldn't have been ignored and stayed in this relationship longer than I should have? Why did I marry this person? And that's the crazy thing about it. Like, I am not one of those people, and with all due respect to the women who want marriage, I feel like in the Christian community, I just feel like didn't want to put somebody else in the video and be cringy for them. But it's like I feel like in the Christian community, we like often stress the importance of marriage and stuff, and just like marriage culture has made women a little bit nutty, which I think is just like very misogynistic. Maybe not nutty, but just like gotta get in a relationship, gotta have a man, like, gotta have like, those 3.5 kids or whatever they say, 2.5 kids. I don't know how you can have half of a child. Gotta do this and gotta do that. And it's just like, it's just overwhelming for me as a woman. It's not like anybody else is giving pressure, but I see the pressure on other women. And I'm just kind of like, I'd rather not. But the Lord is like putting like marriage and stuff like that on my heart, which It's interesting as somebody who really never considered it and took it seriously before. But it's just like in terms of like relationships, marriage is a serious step to take. You're putting yourself and another person together. Like, you gotta know that it's like, it's dangerous to get with the wrong person. It's dangerous to get with somebody God hasn't ordained you for. And it's dangerous to stick around. So it's like dangerous to stick around in these relationships where you're being told not to do basic things that humans do, like fart or toot, as the guy says it. It's just like, it doesn't make sense to me. I'm trying to avoid like putting people's faces on camera. That's kind of like the issue with like vlogging, like, or not even vlogging, or doing videos outside. But it's like, it's crazy to me how much we would put up with in order to stay in a relationship. How much we, like, even like when we say we love these people, like you do an AITJ, Am I the Jerk, post on Reddit talking about your relationship and talking about something unreasonable your partner has asked or done, or something even cruel, and should I stay with this person? You know, and I really love him, and it's just like, really, does he love you though? And what do you love about him? You know, like I said it in a video before, I haven't had like romantic relationships like that because of the scars of my past, and I'm grateful for that, because I wouldn't have chosen a good partner for myself. I would have been in several very abusive relationships, and I don't deserve that. So God was looking up for me in that respect. But in terms of like friendships, I've hung out with some people who really did not care about me and really did not like me. And when I look back over those relationships, I have to think the hard thoughts about my responsibility. You know, like I have to like think about what I allowed and how I allowed them to treat me, and how I allowed them to talk to me, and the behavior that I thought was okay, or I would pretend to get over very quickly because I wanted them around. But you know, I can't think of any sort of like characteristics that they have that were so great that I should have stayed as long as I did. I mean, it was good. As painful as those relationships were, they did teach me to not allow people to treat me any kind of way. And so that's the message on today. That's the word, if you will. Don't allow people to treat you any kind of way. And realize that a lot of these people you're not with because you love them so much, or they have such great, amazing personalities. You know? If they do things that make you uncomfortable, you voice, depending on what they do, because, you know, some things, it doesn't matter. I'm not going to even talk to you about it. It's just over. But it's like, and you talk to them about it and they continue to do those things, then they really don't care about you. If they're not unreasonable things you're asking them to stop doing, then they really don't care about you. You know, that's the message, that's the word. You got to stop allowing yourself to stay in situations longer than you should just because that person has trauma, just because you're used to that type of behavior. When you know better, you better do better. Or you're going to continue to be in the same relationships. Okay, that's the message. That's the word I need to get on the bus. Bye.